Hello, this is Dr. Dismal Economist, here to provide you a series of educational videos on principles of economics and finance. Our first lesson is simply, what is economics anyway? We first start this video by imagining that we are going to graduate from college soon. What are our worst nightmare? I'd say for most graduates, not being able to find a good job immediately. One of the main reasons for not being able to find a good job might be because the economy is not doing so well. Understanding basic economics will help us understand the employment market and what kind of economic environment we as job seekers are facing. A basic question to ask yourself is, do you think the U.S. economy is doing well? Why or why not? I find that a lot of people didn't know how to answer this question. They'd say something like, no, it's not doing well because my neighbor just lost her job. But this answer is incorrect because your neighbor might have lost her job due to different reasons. Yes, it could be because of the economy, but it also could be because she stole company money. So, how should we answer this question properly? By knowing the three basic economic indicators and their roles in the economy. Think of yourself as a doctor diagnosing the health of a patient. You need some basic indicators to tell whether a person is healthy or not, such as checking the person's blood pressure, heartbeat, temperature. To diagnose how healthy is an economy, you also need some basic indicators. Gross domestic product is the monetary value of all final goods and services produced within a country during a specific period. GDP is the single most important indicator to capture economic activity for a country, and it measures the health of the economy in that a country is healthy if its GDP is increasing at a steady pace. The GDP of the U.S. can be obtained from the government's website, www.b.gov. This website is for the government's Bureau of Economic Analysis, a government agency that provides official macroeconomic statistics, notably the GDP. Note here that the real GDP is what we are interested in, a figure that has been adjusted for inflation. The second economic indicator that shows the health of the economy is the unemployment rate. It tells us the unemployment rate for the whole country. In order to interpret this number correctly, we need to compare this number to unemployment rate from the past. Also, we can compare this actual unemployment rate to the natural unemployment rate, which the Federal Reserve provides. That is a topic for a later video. Inflation measures how much more expensive the things we purchase has become over a certain period, usually a year. Inflation is bad because it decreases the purchasing ability of our money. In a later episode, we will explain further how inflation is calculated and how to interpret it. So there you have it, the three basic indicators to tell us whether our economic is healthy or not: the gross domestic product, the unemployment rate, and the inflation rate. So there you have it, some basics of economics that we will be discussing in our various videos. But first, let's define what we mean by economics. It is the study of how people make decisions under the condition of scarcity. What is scarcity? It is when we do not have enough of something to satisfy our wants. And because of scarcity, we need to make tough choices. Can you think of two things that we want more of but can't have enough of? You got it. Time and money. Elon Musk, the richest person on Earth, said he needed a private jet because he saves time traveling for work. So even the wealthy faces scarcity. In economics, we study what type of choices people make based on what we want, not what we need. Let's look at an example. If I'm hungry, then I will need food. Not much choice to make here. But then I ask myself, what do I want to eat? This is where it gets interesting, as I have many different kinds of food to choose from. Remember, our wants are unlimited, especially if we do not need to worry about our income and what we can and cannot afford. Why are our wants unlimited? Here's an example. If I tell you that you can choose to get $100 or $200, how much would you choose? Obviously, we would choose to receive more money rather than less. But what if someone chose $100? Then most likely people would say, that's rather irrational. So economics is the study of how to make good choices, because things are scarce and our wants are unlimited. Further, we can break down the study of economics into different levels: individual level, business or firm level, and country level. We also need to understand the motivation behind each level of the decision-making process and the constraints or scarcity at each level. At the individual level, we make choices on what to buy based on what we want. Also, we decide how many hours to work versus how many hours for leisure. We have limited income, so we have a budget constraint. Here's an example of making an individual choice. I'd like to sleep an extra hour this morning, but I can't because I need to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, I chose to go to work instead of sleeping an extra hour. My constraints or scarcity are time and money. At the business level, the core decisions a firm needs to make is to make as much profit as possible by choosing what to produce and what price to charge. A business faces constraints such as employee wages, size of its factory, and technological constraints. At the country or society level, we face scarcity of four main resources: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. The main decision to make is how should scarce resources be allocated to satisfy unlimited wants. This is where different kinds of economic systems are determined, such as whether to be more capitalistic or socialistic. Since the study of economics is all-encompassing, it is divided into two parts: microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics topics include consumer theory, where we study a person's choices on what to purchase under a budget constraint. Keep in mind that in economics problems always involves a goal, such as maximizing satisfaction under some kind of constraint. Microeconomics is the study of decision-making at the individual or household level and at the firm level. Macroeconomics is the study of the behavior of the whole economy at the aggregate level. Some macroeconomics topics are economic growth and the gross domestic product, unemployment at the national level, and inflation. Okay, here's a quick quiz on the difference between macroeconomics and microeconomics. The effect of higher cigarette taxes on the number of cigarettes sold. This is a micro topic because it only looks at the effect of higher taxes on a specific industry. B. The reasons for the economies of East Asian countries growing faster than other economies. This is a macro topic because it studies economic growth at the country level. C. The reasons for low rates of profit in the airline industry. This is a micro topic because the topic is on a specific industry. Whether at the micro or the macro level, we need to make good decisions. So how do we do that? Is there a systematic approach? Yes, in economics, this is called the rational maximizing behavior. We start with the problem of scarcity, or not having enough of something. We need to make the best decisions possible because of scarcity. How can we behave in a rational maximizing way? Let's look at some examples of rational maximizing behaviors first. Haha, just trying to be funny here. Before we discuss in details how to be rational, let's first understand why we make decisions we make. The goal of an individual consumer is to maximize satisfaction or happiness from consuming a product. The consumer faces limited income or budget constraint. The goal of a firm is to maximize profit while facing constraints such as the cost of labor, manufacturing capacity, and technology limitations. The goal of a society is to maximize production under the scarcity of resources such as land and labor. So how do we achieve these goals under scarcity? Or another way to phrase this question is, how do we make the best decisions possible by being rational? There are three basic ways which we will discuss further in our next video.